Yes, it is very cold out here in the garage where I am recording this video. You may have saw in another video, I do live in the garage, but sometimes I do not want to heat it. It costs money, and it's cold, it's winter. So I take days off, so I'm going to suffer here for all of you. This is the time where I have to do the college basketball resume ranking. I know Monday has came and passed and teams have won and lost, but if you look back to Sunday and the results that were there, I promise you this will be an interesting video for you. Who are the number one seeds? Who are the number two seeds? I'm going to tell you at the moment Sunday night where I came up with who is number one, number two, number three, and why. And I hope you enjoy. So we're going to start with the number one seeds, and we're going to work our way down to who is going to get automatic bids. Because remember, every lower classification conference in college basketball gets an automatic bid. So here are 28 teams that I think will get a at-large bid at least. So here we go. The one seeds are Auburn, Alabama, Duke, and Memphis at this one moment. Auburn's 18-1 with 9 quality wins. Houston, Iowa State, Memphis, Purdue, Missouri, at Texas, Mississippi State, at Georgia, and Tennessee. Number 2 overall seed would be Alabama, 17-3. Arkansas State, McNeese State can both move down this list because they don't have any more opportunities for quality wins like some of the other teams that Auburn, for say, beat. So that could hamper them, but they have a lot of opportunity in the SEC going forward because the SEC has 9 teams in my top 28 in the resume ranking. There are 5 from the Big Ten and 4 from the Big 12 and a couple from the ACC. So Alabama, Auburn, 1 and 2. You got Duke, 17-2. They beat Arizona on the road. They beat Auburn early in the season. They won at Louisville. They beat George Mason. They won at SMU. They beat Pitt, and they won at Wake Forest. So quality wins, 7 of them for Duke, and they only have the 2 losses. Memphis is the last 1 seed right now this week. 16-4. They beat Missouri. They beat San Francisco, who could slip. They beat Connecticut, who has slipped. They beat Michigan State. They beat at Clemson, and they beat Ole Miss and North Texas. All right, the 2 seeds. I'm going to go a little quicker for all of you. The 2 seeds this week: Iowa State, Tennessee, Marquette, and Florida. Yep. And I have Tennessee 2 spots ahead of Florida. Why? They have 2 more quality wins and 1 less loss. So that overrides that 30-point head-to-head that I saw Tennessee lose to Florida in Gainesville. But just barely. So those 2 are 2 seeds from the SEC, and then you got Iowa State and Marquette. The 3 seeds right now are Utah State, Oregon, so the first Big Ten team in Oregon, and then you got Texas A&M and Houston. Utah State is 18-2. They have 4 quality wins. They won at St. Mary's and they won at San Diego State, are probably their best 2 wins. Meanwhile, Oregon has 4 losses, 16-4. But they beat 6 quality teams at Oregon State, Texas A&M, San Diego State is a mutual win. But they beat Alabama, Stanford, and Maryland all at home as well. Texas A&M is 15-5. The highest rated 5-loss team by 5 spots. By 5 spots, because the next one is Kentucky. So that'll tell you where they are. But Texas A&M beat Creighton, Wake Forest, Texas Tech, Purdue, Texas, at Oklahoma State, and they won at Mississippi State. So they finally added some road victories versus good teams to their resume. Houston is the third seed. So they are number 12. They are 16-3. They beat BYU, West Virginia. They won at UCF, and they won at Kansas this past week, which vaulted them way up. They were not ranked in last week's resume ranking. Now all of a sudden they're number 12. So that goes to show you how quickly this ranking changes. And I think the AP voters and everyone should watch what's going on here with this ranking, because it does make a difference who you beat every week, not just, well, you didn't lose, so you stay where you are. No. What did the teams that you already beat weeks prior do? That affects your resume as well. So I'm proud to put this resume ranking out for both basketball and football. Hopefully more of you watch it going forward. Otherwise, it's time consuming. I can't fit it in. It's not going to happen for you guys. I'll just use it for my own personal use. But hit that like button. The 4 seeds. Who are they? Well, Mississippi State, Clemson, Kentucky, and Michigan State rose 6 spots from last week after beating Illinois. They also beat Samford earlier in the season, which probably is not going to be a good win going forward. Mississippi State, though, 16-4. They beat SMU on the road. They beat Pitt. They won at Memphis. It was the 1 seed in this. They won at Vanderbilt, and they beat Mississippi. Clemson is 17-4. They beat San Francisco, Kentucky, Wake Forest, Stanford, and they won at Pitt. Kentucky beat Duke, Gonzaga, Louisville, Florida. All really great wins. And they won at Mississippi State, who is ranked ahead of them by 2 spots, like the Tennessee-Florida scenario here. And they beat Texas A&M as well. But Kentucky has 5 losses. So let's move to the 5 seeds here. Drake is still in this thing, even though they have moved down 7 spots since last week's ranking. Vanderbilt is a win that they have, and they're doing good still. And Bradley is a win that they have, who might disappear. But they are 18-2, and they have 2 quality wins, so they have to be right here. Otherwise, Michigan State can't be right there with their 2 losses and 2 quality wins. See what I'm saying? All right. Missouri is the 5th seed going into next week. This week. Missouri is number 18 overall. They're 16-4. They beat Kansas, Vanderbilt, at Florida, and Ole Miss at home. So Purdue is another 5 seed, 16-5. They beat Alabama. They beat Ole Miss. They beat Maryland. They won at Oregon, and they just whooped ass on Michigan on Friday. Kansas is the other 5th seed, 14-5. They beat Michigan State. They beat UNC Wilmington, who is still a good win. They beat Duke. They won at UCF. So finally a road win for Kansas. And then the 6 seeds are Oklahoma, Wisconsin, New Mexico, and Michigan. So number 21 overall is Oklahoma with the wins versus Arizona, Louisville, and Michigan. Wisconsin is 22, even though Michigan beat them. 16-4, they won versus Arizona, UCF, and Pitt. New Mexico is number 23, 17-4, and they beat UCLA, VCU, and San Diego State. And then Michigan, 24. They're 14-5 now. 15-5 now after they just beat Penn State, but just keep that out of your mind for this video. 14-5 at the time. Miami of Ohio is a win that's probably going to go south. At Wisconsin, still a really strong win. At UCLA is still a really strong win for Michigan. So the 7 seeds are George Mason, Texas Tech, California Irvine, and St. John's from the Big East. George Mason is 15-5 with 3 quality wins. 1 at Dayton, 1 versus George Washington, and 1 at St. Bonaventure. Texas Tech is 15-4, but only 2 quality wins. They won at BYU and they beat Arizona. California Irvine is 18-3, but only 1 quality win at UC San Diego. And then number 28 is St. John's, 17-3, and they beat New Mexico, who is actually a higher seed than them as well. So, I try to be unbiased. I try to take all the information at the end of every week on Sunday after every game, plug it in, and there's a lot of variance through every week. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in the top 28 that wouldn't have been there last week. And that's because they beat good teams, but that's also because the teams that they beat good teams, and the teams that they lost to might have beat good teams as well. So there's nuance to trying to do these rankings. Let me know your top 25 as a team as it stands. No eye test in this. Just who beat who. Who do you think has the best resume in the nation? I want to do this every week. Hopefully I'm not late like I was this time around. Thank you, everybody. Please like the video. It takes time to do these things. I love doing it. And if you guys like what I'm doing too, then that's just a marriage that could be awesome. And we could go forward with talking about it all and videos of this sort. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day out there. But go blue. Dusty May's going to figure it out how to win in the Big Ten. At one point or another, he will.